Hey everybody, good night. Have a good evening, everybody. Welcome to an all-new episode of Holotheatre. As always, I'm Dan Tartaglione. I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing me say that. Also known as the D Tartag One. Joining me tonight is our esteemed design advocate and collector of many figurines, Chris Kelly. How are you doing tonight?
Hey everyone, good night.
So, Chris, we have a little bit of it. It's going to be a very interesting episode. I think this is the first time we've ever done this. I know you have done you and I have done an episode where we play games and we award stuff to people. But tonight's episode is going to be a little bit different. This is the first time. It's going to be kind of cool. You approached me today about it, and here we are.
Yeah, I had the idea a little while ago, and then I think I just talked to you about it today. It needed probably a little more lead-in, so we'll see how this goes. But I'm sure everything will be smooth and great and fun.
Uh,
Hope.
so before we get into what Chris is here for, let's go ahead and just go ahead and talk about what's going on with the Star Wars CCG world right now. The big thing on the agenda is that Worlds is 3 weeks from today, essentially, or 3 weeks from, 3 weeks. Like, I don't know. Are you going to Worlds, Chris?
I am going, and I don't know if you followed the Slack chat about maybe turning this into crowdsourcing for what decks I should play. I would appreciate someone sending me some good decks. We're not in a meta where the decks I normally play are pretty good. So I'll take whatever help I can get.
I don't know. Like, you and I played in the last Coruscant region event. It wasn't exactly a regional, but it was like a local event. And you played that BB9E Bring Up Before Me type of a deck. That seemed like it was pretty good.
I don't think I played that. I think you're confusing me with some other handsome man. We
I,
played in the regional.
we
I
played
think
in
I
the
played
regional,
Matt
but no, we
and
played in the
Skywalker
last
Saga.
on Gep.
Oh, on Gemp. Oh, yeah, yeah. I play a bunch of stuff. Yeah, that's a fun deck. That's a fun deck.
Oh, that's what I was getting at. You played that.
Oh, I
That's right
thought
up
you
your
meant in
alley.
real
It's,
life.
lightsabers and swinging and drawing
Sabers and High Destiny and
high destinies.
Mains. That is a fun deck. That is a real fun deck.
So, but looking at our registered players right now, we have quite a very skilled player list of registered players for right now. Greg Shaw, Drew, Jared Napolitano. I think he's the only advocate that is currently signed up
For
uh,
Worlds?
for Worlds.
No, I think I paid my registration. If
Well,
not,
that's not
I have a
good.
hotel there and have a flight. Hope they let me
Brian,
play.
Brian, Fred, Mike Kessling, they're both going. I mean, they've been to almost every event this year, so it makes perfect sense. Matt Harrison, trainer. But I think the biggest surprise is, well, Joe Olson, Phil are both going, Hayes Hunter. But the biggest surprise on the list of people who are going is Bill Kafer's going.
Hey, Bill. Woohoo!
No, Johnny Chu and his sons are both registered. I was not expecting that, but that is definitely a welcome surprise.
Amazing. Respect. It's great. It's really good. It'll be good to see him.
Definitely, like he's a lot of people say that he is the goat, the greatest of all time. I would say he's definitely one of them up there. Uh, Maybe he'll have a get his third world championship. I don't know. We'll see. But again, Worlds is registration is live until September 30th. I'm excited to go and hopefully play. We're actually going to talk about that in a second, James. uh, the hotel link is no longer live. That ended a few days ago. But if you are interested, if you are going to Worlds, I would highly suggest booking at the hotel, just because that's where all the fun is.
Yeah, and if they don't let me play, someone can have my room.
Why wouldn't you be able to play?
I don't know. I'm not signed up. I thought I was. I
You
gotta go.
have time. Sign up. Get your PC Excel deck box and all the other prizes that Jared has for the uh, the pre-registration. The pre-registration is actually don't see it. Yeah, pre-registration, you get a PC XL deck box and the Ezra's Blaster lightsaber. So definitely, you should definitely sign up for that.
Doing this right after Holotheatre.
There you go. And then this weekend is another. We have another regionals. If you're getting ready for Worlds, this is a perfect time for you to go ahead and get some practice in. Dagobah is having their regionals this Saturday in Duluth, Georgia. It's only $5 to play, so if you're in the area, go ahead and play on that. You get some good stuff for first and second, including travel vouchers, foils, pins. Deck lists are required. Please email them to decklists@starwarsccg.org. So, and make sure you get those in before the event. But go and play a lot of those Georgia guys and Florida. I believe that Hayes Hunter is attending this. So
Competition.
definitely. I mean, you got Drew, you got
Drew,
Mike,
Hayes,
yeah.
Regionals.
So, and then the erratas to Throneback and all the 0 hour stuff will be legal for this event. I believe this is the first major event, well, regional event that the are legal. All these erratas and everything are legal for. So, and then checking up on the OCS really quick. If you're following along with the September OCS, Justin Desai is currently in first place at 12-0. He's had a heck of a run so far this year. Joe Olson cracked into the top 2 at 11-1, followed by Connor Britton,
also good.
Tom Struthers, Greg Shaw, Matt Harrison Trainer at 10-2 as well. And then looking on down the lines, we have Paul Myers, who is at 8-0. So Paul has not qualified yet, so he would need to finish at 11-1 or better and have a higher percentage than Joe to qualify. And then Jeff Levine, also he's at 7-1 right now, and also he currently has a better opponent strength of schedule than Joe as well. So this is the final month for the OCS, so make sure you guys register, get in your 12 games. Especially if you've had completed all 12 games each month. I mean, that's quite a nice little accomplishment for everybody who has. And then the Road to Worlds is live. And as James pointed out in the chat, you can still sign up through this Friday for it. Few people have had multiple games in. There's a few 1-0s, an 0-2, a few 0-2s. Nobody is 2-0, so again, this is a fundraiser event for the PC. All donations are welcome, and if you want any information on it, go ahead and go over to the forums really quick and click on your link, and you can see like all the information where to register. Minimum registration cost is $5, $10 suggested, but as long as you donate $5 at least, you can donate any amount you really want. Right now, there's 55 people in the event, and the PC has raised $770.69. So that's a pretty good number for 55 people. I mean, on average, everybody has donated at least $10. So good job, everybody. I am proud of everyone. So quick update on the Euro Championship finals. We're still waiting to hear from Chris Menzel on when the final confrontation will be. Make sure you stay tuned to Slack, the PC channel, Facebook, and the forums for all information on that. And then Jared sent over a advocate for kind of a formal release on the Jogger World Brawl final confrontation between Joe and Brad Kipple. Just to paraphrase what Jared sent, there was an issue in game 2. being that there was a bug between turns 5 and 6 where Dooku was not registered as a legal target for the Revenge of the Sith epic event. And being though that Brad did win game 1 by 16, the gameplay could continue. Jared registered that gameplay could continue, and unfortunately, despite the bug and everything, Jared has declared that Joe is the victor in the event. So, and if anybody has any questions or anything, please make sure that you email Jared directly at marketing@starwarsccg.org. These things unfortunately do happen just because of technology, and I mean, you hate to see it. I mean, it was a good finals between Joe and Brad. I mean, regardless of these bugs and everything, everybody did really well in the event, and it was definitely a really good event. Can't wait for next year's. Maybe Kendall will give out some more Jedi books. I don't know if he signed them or not. Did you watch the finals between David and?
He needs to
Steven?
sign them. That's part of the prize.
He does.
Gotta sign them.
Like they're Jedi books on core and horn. I mean, the next best thing to him signing them would be Michael Stackpole. Have him sign them.
I was thinking have him sign the card, the core and horn card.
Yeah, there you go. Do some of his artwork and stuff on it. According to Carl in the chat, he is signing them with some personalized message. So thank you, Carl. That's why we have you in the chat. We got to get you on here eventually, Carl. So, but yeah, let's no reverts. So, Chris.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell the viewers why you're here tonight?
Yeah, I was bored. I didn't have anything to do tonight. So I just thought it would be a cool idea. The Holotheatre community, obviously, every week Dan puts a great show together. It's not an easy thing to do to get a list of what we're going to talk about and who's going to be on, arranging all of that. It's not an easy thing to do. So I thought it might be a cool thing to reward the Holotheatre community to design a card. So I'm fresh out of ideas. I need the chat. Need the chat to be very involved, and let me know what kind of stuff you want. If there is a deck you want to see helper for, put it in the chat. I'm gonna be reading the chat
I like that one.
as much as possible. And the rules are if I like it, we'll do it. And if not, I don't know. I'm usually pretty easy to please.
You need to bribe them with foils.
So that's a possibility of whatever we end up designing here.
Mm-hmm.
If we get a good card, it's going to move along the design process. So basically, I turned all of the Holotheatre community into player card owners. So spit out your ideas and let's get a card. If we get something good, it'll go into playtesting, follow the normal process, and then in a set or two, it's released by the Holotheatre community.
So we have.
So I see Paul Myers wanting an IE helper.
Yeah, or Tidigawatt. We also have the suggestion of a Boba Fett with Gaffy stick. I'm not even going to try and pronounce how you properly say it, but
let's follow. That's interesting.
It is interesting.
Light side or dark side?
Ooh, okay. That's our first. I would suggest if somebody can come up with an idea of the card, we have a helper for a deck, Dark Side Tusken Raider leader for my kind of scum. Okay, that's an interesting one.
He would be like what is his name, Tam Dagaran or whatever his name is, who helps the Tuskens. So he'd be like their rep.
Okay, it's interesting.
EPP rep, is that too good?
Maybe.
And everyone else, feel free to shoot out ideas.
Yeah, Carl, I want to see some ideas from you. James, there's people in the chat. I want to see some ideas.
Okay, so this idea is dead on arrival.
Chewie's Metal, a light side version of Tarkin Bounty that deploys on a Wookiee. Tala from Obi-Wan.
And then it lets you force pile search.
Okay.
But would it have to be Han's Metal, even to Chewie? let it deploy on Han or Chewie.
Okay.
And then it's kind of like how Tarkin's bounty gets an extra benefit if on Tarkin.
Yeah.
Maybe give it an extra benefit on Chewie.
Yeah, he says
I'm immune to
draws a battle
trample or
destiny if
something.
unable to otherwise. Okay, interesting.
Does Chewie need that though? Chewie's always with someone.
Yeah.
What he does need is protection from trample, and force lightning. Ooh, that would be good. An
Yeah.
effect that makes a character immune to force lightning.
Okay, we got it one. I think that's Keith. Boba Fett's Rancor. Would it be light side or
So
dark side?
yeah, light side or dark side.
Okay, we got another one. Tala from Obi-Wan. A smuggler spy for Watcher Step that has a thermal detonator in it.
So we're constrained by text box
Yeah,
size.
that's the only
So
thing.
Obi-Wan in Talo 1 with thermal detonator
Well, no, no.
would probably.
I think he's just saying the character from the Obi-Wan show.
Oh, I'm thinking he means like like a starship in. The Imperial officer who helps them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one seems cool, but we will probably end up doing an Obi-Wan theme.
Yeah.
So if we create like a main character now before we have that idea fleshed out, it kind of pigeonholes us into doing that.
So I
So
know.
far, I'm digging the Chewie's metal the most.
Yeah.
No disrespect to anyone who has ideas. Again, this is completely arbitrary, um, and what I like.
How
So
ambitious are you feeling, Chris?
I told Dan before we started I was actually kind of tired. But let's do it. Let's go big or go home.
Ben Solo Kylo Ren flip card?
We have talked a little bit about a Ben Solo. Um,
Yeah.
I thought I had like a super good idea for Ben Solo. So what are your guys' ideas?
I feel like Ben is going to be a hard character just because he has that. We really don't see a lot of Ben until the very end.
Yeah, so I think that's still okay. We didn't really see
Mm-hmm.
Anakin until the very end, until
Well,
episode 1, 2, and 3 came out.
true.
Um,
Let's see.
Let me
I'd
know what
like
your Ben Solo idea is.
note the AR has rules for converting Kylo
Oh,
already.
great point, Solid Snack. One of the reasons we're able to do this tonight is our rules advocate, Greg, can't watch the show, so he can't tell us no. So rules are not an
You know
issue right
what's
now.
funny is he posted on Slack saying this is going on. So I don't know, like
Yeah. So Greg's gonna poke his head in and be like, "What have you done?"
Paul is suggesting a Rebel
Double strike
Strike
team
team
helper.
helper. I like that. I know
To
Timo
get
would.
into that, what would your helper be? So my thoughts on strike team is you need like 5 effects, and just because of it feels icky, I don't really want to make a deck start 5 effects. Um, so what would your ideas be for RST?
Yeah.
Blowing away the bunker. Yeah, no, I think that's a good win condition. Not win condition, but a good achievement in the game.
So here's a question. Okay, I like this. Solid. James is saying start with Tidarian and Covert Landing in hand. Uh, let's see. I'm gonna bring up while you think about that, Chris. I'm gonna bring up
Yeah,
Covert Landing, so just so we know exactly what it
and
does by the
no,
handy
this
dandy.
is not even out of design yet. But I will say there was one idea for Rebel Strike Team on the objective itself. It blanked Endor generation. Um,
Okay.
Kind of save you starting strike planning if you didn't want to. Obviously, you'd still need to find a way to get the generals, but you got leaderships for that. So there was one idea to just blank Endor's generation off the objective. That way, it kind of frees up an effect slot without actually giving you
Mm,
that fourth or even fifth effect.
okay. So Paul is saying, and his idea is something that protects scouts from weapons.
What kind of weapons specifically? Like lightsabers, blasters? Are scouts getting pummeled by weapons or zapped by force lightning or just overrun by Darth Vader doing Darth Vader things?
I think all the Vaders just are so many issues for these scouts just because they have low defense value and low ability.
Strike planning gets generation. I don't know what you mean by that. I know that it was made for the deck because it gives up too much force. So I feel like just putting it on the objective, putting that key line of strike planning on the objective, kind of frees up that slot. You just need to find your generals.
What about
Fine.
virtualizing?
There's a lot of auto setup right now. I don't mind the idea of having to draw some cards, especially turn one.
Yeah, Tom will force lightning everybody left and right.
Generals. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong. I think it was initially Paul's idea. Let me know if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But is the issue really not having the generals? Because I know when it was made, you want Maydeen to pull everyone. Is that something we still need?
Yeah, Delver helps against one weapon.
Okay. All right, so far I'm digging the strike team helper. We need to flesh that out, and the Chewy's metal.
Yeah.
Chewy's metal actually is really, really good. I like that. It's got to be a device, though, right? No devices in the game.
Maydeen is not a scout, and he's very slow. I agree, he is kind of slow.
Does Maydeen grab them in the draw phase or the control phase?
Deploy phase.
Okay.
May take one into hand, and then that's pretty much
so you
all
can kind of
he
use
does.
them as soon as you drop them.
But yeah, if you get the Tidarian and Covert Landing, you can get scouts really easy.
Well, it doesn't pull them, does it? It just deploys them cheap.
Covert Landing says if your shuttle, it's a user lost Destiny 4. If your shuttle, including shuttle vehicle, is in a battle, add one battle Destiny. Lost. If your starship just landed at a site where opponent has no presence, deploy scouts and weapons on those scouts aboard it, capacity permitting, from reserve deck reshuffle.
Okay. And so that's not deploy -1. That's just on the original Tidarian pack.
Yeah.
So what happens though when you go up against like Bring 'Em Before Me or Hunt Down and they drop someone turn one to your landing site? Kind of stuck defending that drain of 2 or 3.
Yeah. They're saying you go to the back door, but I mean you're spending 2 force to pull the back door.
What if
we design like an effect?
Length generation and deployed sites. Does that free up? Shield is down or not really, because you still want the benefits of blowing it. Probably still want the benefits of blowing it, I guess.
Because I think you do want to blow it up just because you get some nice benefits from blowing it.
So, yeah, one of the things I'm trying to work on is there's so many cool explosions in Star Wars. We need them back in the game.
That's another thing. Like, why don't we make an MBO helper? I mean, we have a really good one for Sikva.
So, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but who's going to yell at me? We're working on that in design. We're working on some things to blow some stuff up.
Okay.
Rebel Strike Team is one of them, but that idea is probably the furthest behind the other ideas of blowing things up. So I think we're at an okay place with MBO, but I'll listen to any ideas. If they're better, I'm going to steal them. People will forget they gave them and give me credit for it. Yeah, so the idea we have for MBO already involves a way to get the necessary cards you need without the trouble of top decking them or them not being where you need them to be. We kind of have that, I think, worked out in a good, fair way. All right, so far, Chewy's Metal's winning. Full Strike Team helper intrigues me, but I haven't heard like some solid ideas.
Here, I'm going to pull over a notepad, and we're going to actually create some ideas. So this way we have them.
All right, Dan on the spot. Let's go.
Okay. So first one, you said
Bantha adds to the drain?
Metal. Let me actually increase this. There we go. I'm gonna hide myself. You're the star of the show tonight.
Oh no, no.
Yes,
This is
yes.
a joint effort. We're both going down for this one.
Okay, so Chewy's medal was the first one.
O'clock,
RST
both in the
helper.
morning. What have you done?
Uh, Bantha V that adds 2 to drains.
Probably a few issues with that.
There's no issues with that. That's going to be number 3. Just because it's Adam Fletcher who's coming up with that idea.
So, first light ship, what would it do? How do you, guess,
That's
deal
a good
with
one,
the
yeah.
problem of when you go to pull something, that's the only thing you can pull? I guess there'll be enough blasters where that should never happen,
Yeah.
but it's tough.
Bill wants
that was one of the things why we didn't come up with it right away, because we were afraid that if it's in your deck, you're going to have to pull it.
Bill wants a playable punishing 1 V.
What would you want to change about that card, knowing now that AOs are actually annoying AF, so probably it's most playable now.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to change about it?
I mean, if Bill is able to change punishing 1 of V, I should definitely be able to change the VX4 ski speeder.
So your Tarkin's bounty though is pretty good, and isn't the ski speeder like perfect for what you want it to do?
It's not enclosed when it should be enclosed.
Should it be?
So those ski speeders can survive in space.
I don't. I only saw Last Jedi twice, maybe.
You should.
Are they enclosed?
Not in the movie, but that's beside the point.
That's kind of what we go by here, Dan.
Oh, well. There's more to it than just the movies and the TV shows. There's books, there's comics, there's...
If you have an in-canon justification for it, it's something we're not going to look at. But let me know what you want the punishing 1 to do. You can Slack me if you'd rather do that. If you don't
we'll
want
talk. We'll talk.
In the main chat.
Yeah, we'll talk. I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to be... we have in Slack, someone is suggesting Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight V. That he gets around Chasm and Abyss.
Doesn't just good play get around Chasm and Abyss?
I don't know.
First off, he should never get around Chasm. That would be silly.
Yeah.
But Abyss, just I don't know, play good. I think that mouse played me once, and I had a battle where Luke was in it, and I drew his lightsaber and 2 Lukes in the same battle.
Yeah.
But I still won. I don't know, because once you group them together, you just kind of visualize where they are and try not to draw.
It's also Bat Mouse. If you have any issues beating Bat Mouse,
he's a good player. He's a good player.
I know he's a good player. He's a good guy, but jank is jank.
I think the skill gap is definitely closing. There's really no bad players. So I want it to punish someone. Let me know your ideas. I kind of actually like the fact that it kind of messes with AOs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind more cards like that, to be honest.
I agree.
But also, it's competing with Dengar and punishing 1, and it's somewhat competing with Dengar with Blaster Carbine.
Yeah. We need we need a dedicated deck that you can just run all these pullable bounty hunters. Like
so Jedi Luke virtual. Sorry to interrupt you. I had my druthers, like my father would have just been a Jedi Luke who's deploy 6 with tame game text.
Court V where where your opponent cannot play Leia Rebel Princess.
I'm liking the Chewie's medal idea the best.
Yeah, I'm liking the so far. Chewie's medal is like up there. I mean, we do have the helpers for Walker. The
You know what would be cool? Are you having who made the trophy cards? Jabba's trophy, sacrifice, all that.
Good question.
Frodo, that's who I thought. So
Frodo.
You're having Frodo on.
We're gonna have him on in a couple weeks because he's doing all of the He's
It would
hosting
be
the Cube at Worlds.
it would be cool to somehow get that little system involved in court somehow. That would be a cool thing. Not for
Kendall has
today's
tried
list,
it. Yeah,
but yeah, ask him about that.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
I
was.
didn't see that feedback bill. Um, Obviously, it wasn't intent to make anyone feel bad or whatnot. So I hope he didn't take it that way.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, no, it would be cool to get that little system up and running a little bit.
Yeah. So I like the idea of, would it be like you said? Would it be Chewie's medal or would it be Han's medal?
I think it has to be Han's medal.
Yeah, I think it
Um,
has to be Han's medal too, but
yeah,
it works with Chewie.
deploy on Han or any Wookiee. Force pile peek or search. If on Chewie, a cool thing happens.
What? Okay, so here's my question: would it be an effect or would it be a device?
So I say device for a few reasons. One, there's not that many devices in the game.
True.
And two, if it's an effect, we want it to be immune to alter. That takes up tech space. Um,
Well, no, I
a
mean Tarkin's
device that's
bounty's not immune
immune
to
to alter.
alter.
What?
Oh, I wouldn't make it an effect because you don't want to be able to pull it with Walkling.
Yeah, that's probably another good point too. Yeah,
Yeah.
so a device also limits its power,
What would you
so you
make
don't get.
the? So I would say make it Destiny 5
Okay.
device.
Boy on or a Wookiee. Force pile grab. If on Chewie, something. Lose device to cancel trample or force lightning. Throne room on table, you get to go take the first 2 turns.
Maybe I should actually like. That's why I don't use Notepad.
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Making Chewie immune to attrition. Um, he's always hit by weapons. Yeah, so if on Chewie, E is immune to attrition,
Turn
and
on
your
word.
characters present are immune to trample. I don't know.
Where do you?
I don't want to be hitting on trample, but obviously
Huh?
trample is Chewie's nemesis. And
To
force lightning is
hand.
probably a little too heavy in the meta right now.
Shuffle.
It could have text like the flight suit.
Yeah. May cancel a. An, may cancel
Yeah,
an
and like
enter.
Chewie can throw it in the use pile. It's like I don't want this. Han's dead. Is it episode 7 though? I guess it'd have to be episode 7, right? That's when Chewie gets it.
Yeah. Okay, I like that too. Your hero spelled backwards says hyperdrive helper. Interrupt that pulls Obi-Wan or the Queen's starship. That then you can lose it to add 1 to your total battle destiny for each card on credits. We'll do fine.
I never realized his username was your hero. Um,
Yeah,
I've always been trying
Brock's
to
very
pronounce it in
creative.
my head and come up with Oreo, Rio. So that's good to know. Drive helper pulls Obi-Wan. So, how do we feel that doesn't Padme do that? How does that not overlap, I guess, with Padme?
That's a good point.
And again, I don't want to make everyone on D&D mad that I'm saying all this stuff. We
Well,
have discussed quite a bit of hyperdrive helpers. There was a cool interrupt, which I think hopefully we'll flesh out and get to where we need to get. But our viewpoint, let me know if you think we're wrong, is that hyperdrive struggles if they go hard at the junkyard with
yeah.
like a bunch of dark Jedi that can hate you with lightsabers, or Veers is a tough nut to crack sometimes. because he's immune to lightsabers. Well, so to address the imbalance of secondary light side options, help a secondary light side deck.
Yeah.
Hyperdrive's a fun deck, I think.
I think it has possibilities. Like the biggest issue I have with it is you can't deploy non-unique anything.
What do you mean? Only unique aliens are immune.
Oh, what I'm saying, you can only play unique aliens. Like you can't even play Eopies in the deck.
They're non-unique Republicans. You know, like Royal Security Guard, Naboo
Yeah.
Royal Security Guard.
Yeah, you can't play them in the deck.
Okay. I don't mind that Bargwin can't be played in hyperdrive.
Yeah, I say it this. Well, I mean, the biggest issue with Bargwin is you can play Landing Claw, but now with No Escape V, you have
You know what would be cool is a crash site that's playable. That would be cool.
a what?
Crash site memorial. So that
Okay.
when you're running Qui-Gon's lightsaber and Obi-Wan's lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber,
Tom
you
Tom
have a
had
way
a
to
deck
get
just
them
like that.
back. Who did?
Tom, he was running a Qui-Gon communing that ran that, and he could just recycle like all the droids, all the sabers. It was very annoying.
So we could control it a little bit. We could make it fixed so it's immune to alter. So it's startable, but not as, I guess, abusable. Also, it would help versus Grievous. I don't know that I ever play Anakin Saga right now, and so that's probably the best of the sagas. Because if Grievous gets your lightsaber,
You're screwed.
your thoughts are going to dwell on your mommy. You know,
I need you to sign a Grievous that says that now.
your thoughts will dwell on your mommy.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
So we got the Hans medal.
Hyperdrive helper of sorts.
Yeah, we got the hyperdrive.
SP helper. This is actually kind of fun and kind of enlightening because it's hard to design cards. Like, we have a bunch of us very smart, good players in the chat. It's hard to come up with an idea that's balanced and effective. Like, we know what we want to do. We want to help our Rebel Strike team. How do we do that? We don't want to do it by letting it start 6 effects. How do we address its needs
Well,
without...
I think if we were to make make the objective virtual, do you think we could actually make it a little bit better?
Yeah, I think that's what we have to do because you don't virtualize the objective, you're just virtualizing helpers.
Yeah.
And then you're running into the 6 effect problem.
Yeah, we don't have a rescue the Rebel Strike Team V yet. Yeah.
Yes, Limpy. So in the quest to blow things up, that's going to be a suggested condition on deactivate the shield generator to be able to blow it up if you won a battle or if you force drained. Yeah. That makes sense, yeah.
Maybe start with like the Tidarian and Han at Endor. You can't force drain there.
Why not?
Well, I'm saying you start with it on table.
Okay, but why wouldn't you be able to force drain there?
Make it like, or you just make it like Invasion, where your opponent generates no force there.
Oh, where the force icons are canceled?
Yeah.
It's not bad. What do you guys think about that? It's not bad.
Joe points out in the chat, bring him before me could use a sight. It got hit.
I swear, we had a site for Bring Him Before Me when we errataed SSA. We were going to wait on releasing it. It was the Chasm Walkway. Super thematic site for Bring Him Before Me.
Yeah.
Because that's where Vader went to bring him before the Emperor. And it gave all Vader's bonuses and a particular extra bonus for Special Edition Vader. Again, theme, awesome. And during production, we realized Bring Him Before Me is actually really good. And we don't think really needs the help. I personally love Bring Him Before Me because it's mains and lightsabers and Darth Vader's the star. And you can convert Luke, which is the plot of the movies.
Yeah.
but a lot of people, reasonably so, do not like Bring 'Em Before Me. It is probably Decipher's biggest design constraint. Um, I think I'm struggling right now because there's so many good Lukes that you want to use, but if you use the Leia shield, um, you cut down the damage, you cut down the effect of the objective, and then if you want to use the one Luke who helps for Bring 'Em Before Me, none of the current platforms really work with that. Like you can't deploy Jedi Luke with Yoda communing or
Yeah.
Qui-Gon communing.
I don't know. You
He's the
really.
Luke that you want the most for Bring 'Em Before Me.
I think at this point, Matt Sokol has shown us we don't need a Luke for Bringing Before Me.
If you are inclined to include a Luke,
Yeah.
and you're worried about Bring 'Em Before Me, the one Luke who addresses that is not playable really. My opinion is Bring 'Em Before Me is the biggest design constraint. Scum is probably the second biggest. Port's probably up there too.
Well, Scum and Court are essentially the same thing.
Yeah, Scum though affects every alien deploy cost.
CCT.
Yeah, and Court affects every bounty hunter's forfeit.
Yeah.
When we're designing a bounty hunter, we're like, well, what's their forfeit in Court? Is that too good?
Well, I mean,
and that's not fair to that bounty hunter. But
at the same time, you got to think about it this way: the biggest design restriction that the PC has put in place is now Hyperdrive V. You can only play unique anything.
Is there really no non-unique Republican? There has to be.
No, it's
like,
not that there's none. You just not. It says literally you can't play it. For the remainder of game, you may not deploy cards with ability except unique alien Republic characters, Republic starships, and Episode 1 Jedi.
Does that unique apply to all of them though? I don't know that.
Yes.
You can't deploy an acclimator? Hyperdrive?
Well, unique aliens. Like you can't deploy EOPs because they have ability.
Yeah, EOP was an oversight. I don't know if it's worth an errata for it, but that was an oversight.
It is. I want my EOPs in the Hyperdrive deck.
Make a virtual EOP that ignores Hyperdrive deployment restrictions.
Yeah.
Let's make a light side card that flips Court.
Yeah, you can't play generic clones in Hyperdrive.
Leia kind of does that.
Well, no, she doesn't flip it.
Leia will flip Court, yeah.
So unique only applies to aliens. Okay.
Yeah, because
so you can deploy. Sure okay, thank you, Adam. See, this is why we have Adam. He solves everything for us.
Adam solves everything
like,
for me.
He disappeared for like 6 months, but I'm so glad he's back.
He is the single greatest asset we have. He works so hard at so many things.
Yeah.
And I know the public sees all the stats and the series stuff, but
why don't we make a Corran Horn that's a Jedi?
That might be claimed already.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
We need. You know what we need? We need a fourth persona of Thrawn.
To do what?
I don't know. No, we need.
This is the problem.
We need space whale creatures.
So give Thrawn and 0 Hour time to grow.
Yeah, I agree. Like 0 Hour's fine right now. There's a reason why it was errated.
That was a tough errata because initially it was insane, and then as we all started doing our homework, we kind of questioned whether it was needed. I think we got it at a good spot. I hope we got it at a good spot.
I mean, to be fair, when I go 3-0 in a regional with a deck, it needs an errata.
No, you're a good player, but also it's a new deck that you've been playing. Not everyone's been playing against it. I don't want it to be Hunt Down and Bring 'Em Before Me Worlds as much as I would like that. So I think the errata was good to at least
Thanks,
diversify dark side.
No, I agree. Like I think the errata was definitely called for. Okay, we've gotten off topic, but so I think right now tonight, at least tonight, because I would love to do this again. The one thing that we have established is Hans Metal kind of sounds kind of cool.
Sounds really cool. I like that quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the first one. As for helpers, I think asking the Holotheatre community to like come up with some more ideas now that we have this established. Maybe they can flesh out some more ideas, and we could do this again at a later time and date. Because
Yeah, I kind of wanted this just to be a nice little reprieve. There's a lot of stuff going on in Star Wars CCG.
oh, there is
A lot of competitive games going on now.
too many.
Let's all chill out and just talk cards.
Yeah.
I would always try to at majors on Saturday night, have dinner with some people and just talk about what they want to see in the game. This might be
I
like
was going to say,
avenue for that.
I think you did that at a major at Minnesota. You, myself, and Brian Fred were all doing that, and that's how we came up with the mall effect.
And I believe Sonic Bombardment
Yeah.
was out of that
Yeah.
conversation as well. Yeah, I love talking cards with guys and figuring out what you all want to see in the game.
Clones.
I haven't been able to go to a major in a while, so this is like a nice way to broaden the scope and see what the community kind of is looking for and give us good feedback.
WAP helper.
To do what?
Get around mall.
Shadow Collective Mall?
Yeah. Bat mall.
Is that needed though?
Yes. Yes.
I guess the droid kind of is WAP's worst enemy, right? Because it's high destiny unless you need it to be a low destiny.
Which droid?
The BB9, it's like a 2.5, so WAP can't cancel it.
Yeah.
Or for a weapon destiny, it's a 6.5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could. All your guys are immune to attrition less than 3 with Queen.
With who?
With Queen Amidala.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm talking about other sites. So
Yeah.
I feel like WAP owns the throne room.
Yeah.
If it's built that way.
Bill, if it's so playable right now, send me a list. Maybe I'll play it at Worlds.
Wayne Cullen played it pretty successfully.
Yeah, he did. He had one loss at Coruscant Regional. Ooh, Biker Scout
What do you want
V.
Biker Scout to do?
I mean, we have the
So
R-Tech.
I love that idea. I
Ooh,
love
okay.
the idea where the Biker Scout helps Endor ops, but also works with.
Make it so that they can use the R-Tech Corporation to pull a Biker Scout.
So the Biker Scout can use
R-Tech to pull, vice versa. Or if you have like a Biker Scout in your hand, you can pull a Biker Scout from your deck.
Instead of pulling a speeder.
Yeah.
2 dudes instead of a vehicle. I mean, do you guys think there's too much pulling in the game?
Yeah.
I mean, what's your virtue? I kind of almost feel like I don't like how all the turns are wall, sight, teleport.
Yeah.
Emperor, Orlam, go.
General Lando.
Is probably worth it,
General
obviously.
Lando, Admiral Radis, pull Ray, go. Or take off, go. Yeah, I agree.
Wops, same
Too many auto setups.
Yeah.
I.e. Rops, pull Piet.
IE, in all honesty, could use some help.
I agree.
I don't think we want to see what we've previously seen out of the deck. But I think IE
Dune Walkers.
It's cool. It's thematic. It's Sand Troopers. It's deserts. It's Tatooine. It's cool.
Make the Dune Walkers playable.
Seems like too much pulling, but that ship has sailed. Can you consistently be played? That's a fair point, Stimpy. That's a fair point. If bunker destroyed or no Imperials on Endor, opponent loses 1 force for each site your scout controls. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
But is that a win more card where you've already blown up the bunker and you've already cleared Endor
Yeah.
of Imperials? but it's not a bad idea for where to go.
Okay, yeah, Decree
Yeah,
V Hurleyhurst.
Corson V's, let's not lie, gonna happen. Not It's not gonna happen in the next set, but it's gonna happen. That was a specific choice to let it pull a system, see where the deck's at, see what the deck needs, and then adjust accordingly. Corson certainly will happen.
I mean, uh, Mr. Whalen or Mr. Wallen, you know who I'm talking about. He did really well with it over in the Euro Championships.
I
ASM.
never pick anyone because I don't want to
No,
hurt
no,
anyone's feelings.
I'm
But the
saying
one, the one guy I said was Emil.
very
That
true.
guy is,
You never do, and
yeah.
I'll give you credit. You were the only person to actually be like, Emil? I mean,
No,
we
I'm sure he was on everyone's list. You see
no,
that name, you know.
no, I don't think anybody. So remember when we did the round table? I don't think anybody picked him.
Um,
Maybe.
no, I did, and I
Oh
don't like
yeah,
picking people. I
that's
did.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I
Um,
think for tonight we're gonna go with Hans Metal.
yeah.
We'll take that. Then Crystal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Joe. You and your insanely good
And
memory.
also, like, Ashton's not a bold pick.
No,
Like
he's
that,
not.
and then there's so many great players over at
I mean,
Euros. That's insane,
yeah,
insane.
yeah. I mean,
It's just
nobody
cool when,
nobody
and
picked
especially like you
Jonas.
said, Johnny Shoes coming into the world. It's cool.
I mean, Legend is missing BB-8's
BB-8's
Walker.
Walker. BB-8's Walker will never happen under my rule.
Oh, okay.
No.
I'm putting a vote of no
Although,
confidence.
I
Vote of
said
no
the one card
confidence.
that would never get errata is Walkling. Um, and we live in a world where Walklings are errata, so what do I know?
Yeah.
What do I know? Yeah, I could see BB-8's Walker as Chewie's ATST. I could see that. Maybe I shouldn't say never.
I mean, what else? We still needed a light side DJ from episode 8.
Yeah.
What other broken links do we have currently?
I mean, I guess Coruscant doesn't count as a broken link, but
Yeah.
for our purposes, we designed that card knowing another card would be coming later.
Which one?
Coruscant, the system. Asm Helper. We designed that to pull Coruscant, knowing at some point we can change Coruscant. So it's kind of a broken link.
Need
So Dobra Doompa,
Who?
no lie, was the original name of Ancient Watering Hole.
Dobra Doompa?
Yeah.
What's that from?
It's the name of the song in Maz's castle.
Oh.
That was going to be Ancient Watering Hole.
Why not?
I got outvoted.
You did? Who?
It's such a cool name.
No, but
right?
I'm going to say this. Like, the X-Skull system, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Death Sticks
I
is
think it already has a parsec. I don't remember what it is, but I know it has one.
I think is it on the hyperdrive navigation chart? It is. Parsec 10.
No, we needed one for Adam when he was coding it into GEMP.
Yeah. What's Psychron?
Don't we have Please Bago for the death sticks?
We do.
Yeah, a new chopper would be super cool. Problem is, right now he slots into one of the better decks. So as cool as it is to make
we
it,
don't
we
have Navarro.
Careful.
We don't have Kef Burr.
All of those have parsecs because they had to be coded into GEMP.
Oh, boo. We don't have Ajahn Kloss. Come on, let's make some Dathomir. We don't. Come on, let's make those systems.
Yes, Joe. We definitely look at legacy stuff. There's been a few things I've just posted almost verbatim that were legacy, and I think that the power level now is at the point where it could come back and be fine. Um, and I know that I won't put anyone on any spots. There's someone on design who is often posting legacy stuff that I think is good. Um, yeah, that definitely is. It's work that's already done. So if it's fun and good stuff, let's
Yeah.
do it. Will, yeah.
We're working on
Will
him.
and IG11 talk to Dan. He's on the
We're
Mandalorian
working
pod.
on him. Don't worry. So the pod is. Can I say the pod? Or is that Breaking Fight Club?
You can say you're in the pod. I don't
I
know.
can
I
say,
don't know what you're gonna say, Daniel.
like, can I say who's on the pod, or should I? You know what? No,
Um,
no, no. Never
yeah,
mind.
like I said, I don't like putting
Yeah,
anyone on the
I don't put
spot.
one. Yeah,
If they want to out
but
themselves, they can. I find that you get a lot of PMs once
yeah,
people know.
I will say the pod is being. A lot of this is being discussed. The idea that is being floated around right now is really cool. I like it a lot. The one member who is very creative came up with this, and I'm kind of liking it. The other thing is, what was I going to say? You said this earlier. There's not a lot of light side, or there's not a lot of devices being floated around except for like Luke's hand. There'd be a lot of devices in this deck, a lot. Yeah,
Fulcrum,
Callus, Fulcrum.
yeah, Fulcrum has been discussed. I don't know that we have any great concrete ideas. Something I loved was we had a card called On the Spy when undercover spies were at their height. It was basically Huck saying, "I'm the spy," outing himself, and it
Yeah.
really messed up undercover spies. It pulled Fulcrum, and might have done something with Hux as well. Um, that was a really cool card that I didn't. I regretted having get cut.
Well, I mean, if certain people would have their way, undercover spies would be gone completely,
Um,
or there'd be a shield for them.
it's discussed a lot. It's discussed a lot.
I don't know. I think they're fine. There's bullets. I mean, quite a mercenary and Uta Guta Solo are really good
You're
cards.
right. You're right. And every time it gets brought up, why aren't you playing the cards?
Yeah.
I played a game at regionals. I felt I was in a good spot. They drop an undercover spy. I play three
Yeah.
counters and draw them. Like, are we telling me as a player what I had to do is just not do anything else but draw my cards until I get my undercover spy cancelers? I played three of them.
What side
So
was
I
this?
can
Light side or dark
see
side?
those light side.
Oh,
And it was U3PO. So he's the best undercover spy because even if he breaks cover, you can't beat him down.
yeah.
So yeah, I can see the value in having an automatic one-time answer for them. So that people still have to main deck some stuff
Yeah.
if they're running two undercover spies. But in that position, what was I supposed to
I
do?
mean,
Like,
light side only runs one.
undercover spy?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, in all reality, both sides are only really playing one.
No. I think Dark Side will run an Erica. A Dark Side will run a U3PO.
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
I mean, there's not a lot of
I think
decks
Dark
that are.
Side can run two, fairly. And Jin, she dies and you Jedi let her back and we're like, ha ha, joke's on you. I saw your hand and I know you don't have any other undercover spy answers. Um, I can see both sides of it. I can.
Yeah, I can see it too. Well, it's getting to that point of the night. I think the exercise was very fruitful for tonight. Before we go, Chris, we were gonna do swing and a miss, but we'll save those for next week. Actually, for in 2 weeks because next week is the Hollies. Voting ended at 9 o'clock Eastern, so make sure everybody stays tuned for next week when Kendall and I announce all the winners. A lot of the categories were really close. I'll say that much. But before we go, Chris, I know this is your favorite thing. Are you ready to guess what card is underneath this V card?
Oh, I'm so bad at this, but sure.
Okay.
Better
You
at
designed
more.
half of these, like 90% of these cards. Am I wrong?
But credit to the proofing team. They usually pick the underlying card, especially now, credit to the graphics team, that we don't need to pick an image for it.
Ah, see, that's
Proofing just picks good cards, so I'm kind of out of that. The only time I'll push back is if like they pick a rare card for something that is going to be in a bunch of decks.
Okay, so we have a 15-second timer. The chat will be able to help you. So you'll have to,
thanks, guys.
So I will say this: the chat can help. What we'll do is I'll show the card. You can ask the chat. You can get some help. But you can only ask one person in the chat because you have the chat open.
Okay.
So
I do have the chat open.
Let me make sure. Yep. Okay, so the card is Sagwa from Virtual Set 18.
Fury.
Okay, you ready?
I think it's Captive Fury. If I'm right, someone in the chat let me know.
15 seconds starting now. Oh, wait, I'm actually hiding in the chat, so I should not do that.
I think it's Captive Fury until I get confirmation in the chat, though.
You know what? I'm going to give you Joe saying...
I've never seen
that
card in my life.
It's from set 18. Keep guessing. I'm going to give you another 15 seconds.
If it's not Captive Fury, I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. It's an alien.
Okay. An alien. Is it Wookiee?
Bill is saying, okay, so time's up. You got to tell me.
I feel like it wouldn't make sense to be Wookiee, so I'll go with Ewok Tribesman.
So I'm just going to say this right now. You better give something to Bill.
Did he get it right?
He got it right.
Give my prize to Bill. Give it to him.
Okay.
Thanks, Bill.
I mean, that was insane.
Yeah, that was clutch.
That was, yeah.
It doesn't make sense to be Wookiee because then you'd need like 10 Wookiee cards to make a Wookiee deck.
Yeah. The other one, thank you, Greg. Greg's in the chat. He's Do you want to tell what you came up with? No?
Someone was talking double-sided Ben Solo. Went downhill from there. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah. I mean, we have a double-sided Millennium Falcon. Why not a double-sided Ben Solo? Let's go crazy.
I love that idea, Carl. Underlying card for Chewie's Metal be Hans Dice. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So, again, thank you, Chris, for coming on. This has been fun. We definitely got to do this again. Again, next week, we're going to be Kendall and I will be doing the Hollies, the 2022 Hollies. Voting ended about an hour ago. The votes will be tabulated. I mean, actually, Google Docs did it all for me. But yeah, a lot of the votes were close. Also, just a little nugget of info before we go. This was episode 154. I completely forgot that we did our 150th episode 4 episodes ago. So thanks everybody for coming and making this show great. 150 episodes down. 150 more episodes to go, at least. So I'll see everybody next week. It's been great. And everybody take care. Enjoy your weekends. And as always, may the force be with you.